Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashlyn. I'm a 26-year-old wife and mom, and me and my husband are currently working to pay for a master's degree debt-free, as well as saving for our first home that we hope to own mortgage-free by the time I'm 30. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, I would love it if you would subscribe and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. So we have been on our financial journey for quite a few years now. We started in 2019 and it is now 2024. So we are pretty experienced in what it means to live frugally. When we were first working on paying off all of our debt and building up an emergency fund, all of those fun things, we kind of just turned off the fun money part of our lives. Like, we didn't really do a whole lot, and that gets really old really fast. So we have kind of evolved over the years and gotten better at finding things to do that are fun for either if it's just me or me and my husband or our whole family with our kids. There are plenty of options of things to do, especially during the summer, that are cheaper or free. So I'm going to share kind of a big list of ideas that we've come up with. So these are in no particular order. Some of them are meant just for one of my very favorite things to do in the summer and the spring is to go for a picnic. It's even more fun when you take your picnic to the park, but you could just go have a picnic in your front yard with your dinner if you're needing to get out of the house. The library is another great one. I have just started really utilizing the library this year with my 2-year-old since having my second daughter, and it's one of our very favorite places to go now. They have lots of fun things for kids to do in their little kids area, and then there's lots of books for me to sit and read, so I kind of get a break while the toy area in the library babysits my child for me. Next up is a splash pad. Obviously this is more catered to people with kids, but we love going to the splash pad. It's a great place to go and meet people who are in a similar stage of life as you. Kids love it, of course. It's a splash pad. They run and play and have fun, get all their energy out. Along those same lines is the pool. This is one that I have kind of held myself back from because I felt like we needed to have a pool membership to really take advantage of going to the pool, and it's so expensive to have a membership to a recreation center. But realistically, we're not going to the pool more than once a week, so I was kind of weighing the cost of purchasing a membership versus just paying the entrance fee every time we go, and it's way cheaper to just pay the $7 or whatever it is to get into the pool once a week or once every 2 weeks instead of spending hundreds of dollars on the membership. So if you're in the same boat as I was and thinking you need to be able to afford the membership to go to the pool and really take advantage of it, it's probably a better deal to just pay your way in every time. Another one is hikes or neighborhood walks. We live in Utah, and so we are surrounded by beautiful hikes. There are really challenging ones for people who are more advanced, but there's also really easy ones that are more like a walk for people who have kids. But if you don't have access to hikes in the mountains, then just a neighborhood walk is great to get some exercise, get out of the house, meet new people out and about in your neighborhood, and yeah, we have always enjoyed neighborhood walks. Another one is the planetarium or museums. I'm not sure if there are planetariums all over the place. I've not done any planetarium research, but we have a planetarium downtown not too far away from us that is free to get to, and it's got lots of activities for kids. There are also lots of other museums, so look around near you and see what free museums and exhibit sort of things they have. This next one is one that's not free, but it's super cheap, and that is to go to a play place in a restaurant. Sometimes on those really hot afternoons or cold ones in the winter, you just want to be able to get out of the house and go let your kid run around for a while, and there's not a whole lot of options to do that are free, but the play places at restaurants are awesome. My daughter usually meets some kids her age there, people to play with. She runs and plays. We like to get a courtesy cone or just a little ice cream cone while we're there. So it turns it into kind of a fun outing for all of us. We get a break, we get to just relax and unwind while we are having a sweet treat and getting to play. Another idea is a nickel arcade. We have one really close to us that we've been using for a few years now. I think it's like a $2.50 entrance fee, and then you just load up a card with however much you want to. So in the past, I think we put $10 on a card, and it lasts us like 3 visits of like an hour each, playing as many games as we want. So those are really inexpensive, and it's a good way to get out of the house as well. The next one is free or low-cost concerts or sporting things or theater at the high schools or colleges near you. When these things are put on by schools, they usually are not as expensive as they would be if you were going to see like a professional place putting something on. So we like to check out what our local high schools and colleges are doing as far as music and theater and sports, and we will go to those kinds of events rather than paying the big bucks for a higher end performance. And they still really are really good. Next is going to live music at restaurants or coffee shops, especially during the summer. There are tons of these places that offer live music, and it's a fun addition to a meal or even just going and listening nearby to the restaurant. Next up is the farmer's market. I am a sucker for farmer's markets. They always have such delicious pastries and fun things to do and see, lots of good things to eat. I think I've said it before, I'm definitely a foodie, so that is a very fun place to go. It's not always the most inexpensive, so we like to just bring a little bit of cash, and when our cash is gone, then we're done. Next up is to host a game night. This could be indoor games or outdoor games in the yard. Either way, it's really fun to get a bunch of people together and just play games. Totally free and always super fun. Next is a make your own pizza night. It's super easy to make pizza dough. If you go check out my go-to budget meals video I did last week, then you will find a super easy pizza dough recipe. We've done this with friends, we've done it just as a family, we've done it just as a couple even, and it's always fun. Next is geocaching. If this isn't something you've done before, then you can just Google it, see what there is around you, and it's a very fun and nearly free thing to do. Next up is camping. This can either be like the all-in version of camping, or you could even just kind of take camping into your backyard. You can do a campfire, roast s'mores, listen to music. You could pitch a tent in your backyard even if you wanted to, but it's fun to just gather around a fire, make some good food, and enjoy the summer and the outdoors. Next is to volunteer. You could do this by actually going and signing up to volunteer somewhere like an animal shelter or a food bank, but you can also just go and maybe pick up trash at your neighborhood park. Next is to pick up a sport or just go play a sport. This could be as simple as playing catch in the backyard, or you could make it more advanced and put together a sports team with your friends or family. Next is to take a YouTube cooking class. There are also some free courses on platforms like Coursera, where you could either learn a specific meal, dish, or kind of just the basics of cooking in general, totally free. This next one is maybe more niche, but there is a minor league baseball team here by us, and they do a family night where it's much cheaper to get into the games. So that is something that we love to do. It's really fun to go see a baseball game, so if you've never done that, maybe see what there is around you. Next is discount days at the zoo. These happen semi-regularly, where it's much cheaper to get into the zoo than the normal entry fee would be, and those are a good day to go. You can check out the farms near you. I feel like it's getting more popular to have farms that are kind of aimed towards the public, getting the public to come and see. So we've got one pretty close to us that is free to go to. There's lots of trails to just go walk. It's a huge place. But they also have animals that you can go look at. Some of them you can even pet. Everything from turkeys to pigs to cows and horses. They've got everything, and that is a super fun place to go. Even if you don't have kids, it's kind of a fun place to be. Next is a simple one. Go and feed the ducks. Depending on where you live, this next one is to go have a lake day or a beach day. I would love it if I could go have a beach day whenever I wanted. I'm very jealous of those of you who have a beach near you. But for us, we have lakes near us, so that is something that we like to go do. Pack up some food, bring our towels and whatever flotation devices we have, and just go hang out at the lake. Next is to host a potluck dinner or barbecue. This can be really easy and really affordable depending on what you are choosing to serve, but having everybody bring their own thing to contribute makes it much more budget friendly, and it's always really fun. By the way, we live in an apartment, so hosting things, I get that sometimes it can feel like you can't host anything because you live in a smaller space, but we have done it multiple times now, and it's always really fun, even when we are in tighter quarters. So don't let that steer you from hosting things and having get-togethers with people, because in the end, the space really doesn't matter. Next is to be a tourist in your own city. Every city has its own tourist attractions. Some cost money, but some don't. Near us, we have, being in Utah, Temple Square, which is free. There's lots of historic sites to see, as well as like the Capitol building is really close by. Just things like that that are famous. People come from all over the world to see them, and we have them right here in our backyard. So going and taking advantage of that being there, and a lot of the time being free, is an awesome thing to do. Next is to visit family. This could be aunts and uncles, cousins, but specifically grandparents. I feel like it's important to go visit them, and it can be really fun depending on how close they are. This could just be a little day trip that you do. If they are not close, but you would still like to connect with family that way, then just doing a FaceTime call can be a fun way to do that too. So here's your reminder, go call your grandma. Next is to start a garden. Our library does a seed library every spring where you can come and get some seeds, go plant your garden, and when your harvest is ready, you can just grab some seeds out of that. They ask that you bring a few seeds back. So that is a absolutely free way to kind of dip your toes into gardening, and it's a fun thing to do with kids or without. Next is simple, but that is to read outside. Reading is fun, being outside is fun. Combining the two makes it extra fun. Going to a pick your own farm. These are super fun to go to. We went to one in Oregon actually. I haven't been to one close to us, but I know there are a few. They're not super expensive to go to, and you get some of the most delicious produce that you could possibly find because it's grown right there and you're picking it at the peak freshness. Next is to make your own popsicles or ice cream, depending on what kind of mood you're in, and enjoying that outside. If you need more ideas, then look at your library's calendar, its event calendar. Look at your city's event calendar. There's always fun, free things going on in the city or at the library. For example, the library near us does classes during the weeknights where you can go learn how to make sourdough or how to knit, or they do dances sometimes. Those are a great place to find activities to go and do. You can also look at Facebook events, things that are happening near you. These aren't usually free, but they are kind of a fun thing to go do, and you can find cheaper options there. So I hope this video gives you some inspiration of things to do this summer. I hope you take some of these and use them and have the best summer. If you liked this video, then please let me know in the comments, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to help me reach that goal of 1,000 subscribers. And I will see you again next week for another video. Bye!